After more than 25 years working as the youngest executive chef at New York's Waldorf Astoria, John Doherty brought his expertise and creative vision to BlackBarn, a restaurant in New York City's trendy Nomad district. And with me is John Doherty. I don't think I've ever interviewed a chef before. It's great to have you here.
Nice.
So you were executive chef at the Waldorf Astoria,
Yes.
one of the most famous restaurants in the world.
Yeah.
And you've switched hats, and so now you're an entrepreneur.
I did.
How
I did.
Was that transition?
It was always my dream, and it's funny, I do like to say, almost shamefully, I looked for 14 years for a restaurant, and every restaurant that I found, I always found something wrong with it, and eventually I got to the point where, like, maybe it's me, maybe I don't have the courage to do this. Maybe I was afraid of failing. I think there was something to that.
Yeah.
However, when I stepped into the space that I have now, BlackBarn on 26th Street, I got to the middle of the restaurant. I knew in my bones and my soul that this restaurant was mine. And it's amazing how I just had flashbacks of all the other restaurants didn't work. Here it is. And it is amazing. I really wanted a space that you got to have events. A restaurant, very difficult to survive if you don't have event space.
Okay.
And so beverages are very important. So for me, I wanted an open kitchen. So this restaurant has all that. It's a great bar space, a tavern, more casual. Then there's a dining room in the back that's a little more formal, but not formal. And then we've got 7 event rooms that are all so different. A wine cellar that's beautiful, great for closing dinners. We've got a big space upstairs that's great for product launches. And then, of course, on the weekends, we do all kinds of social events, birthdays, anniversaries.
Yeah.
It's a great part of town. Nomad is...
It's a wonderful neighborhood.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Just so many interesting places.
And we sit right on the park.
Okay.
So you're having your cocktails in the tavern. You're looking, like by next week, it's going to be in bloom. It's going to be fantastic.
I was going to say, this is like a great place to spend a summer afternoon.
Yes.
So, of course, I love to go to restaurants. And whenever I'm at one, I always admire the people who run and own the place, because I feel like it would be so difficult to run a restaurant. I'm not a cook, so there's that, but then just the logistics of it all. And I feel like people are very particular about their restaurants. How do you manage all of that?
It's a million details that have to come together. What makes it difficult is you're relying on people, 83 employees, to execute those details on a consistent level. So you as a diner have a good time. Oh, let's come back. And then if it's not the same, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
Right. So consistency. So, there's that discipline of setting standards and holding people accountable with positive reinforcement that gets you those details delivered on a consistent level. That's the challenge. That's leadership. That's the part that I like. And of course, I develop my craft as a cook, and I have a great chef. Together, we develop the items, and I love food. I love the business. I don't know what I would do if I didn't do this, but it has its challenges for sure.
For sure. Now, how do you kind of stay on the cutting edge of the restaurant industry? It seems like there's a lot of innovation going on.
There's a lot of innovation, and we might look at, we kind of keep an eye on what's going on. We read about trends, but honestly, I make dishes that I want to eat. The food at the restaurant is food that I want to eat. And that's how we compose dishes, Chef Brian Fowler, myself. We're now very like-minded in our thinking about dishes, and we put flavors together and textures together that bring excitement in your palate. And so it reads simple on the menu. You look at that and say, oh yeah, I know that, I like that. You order it and then you get it. It's like, ooh, this is different. You taste it like, wow, oh, there's all these different flavors and textures. And so that's what we do.
How much has social media impacted, whether it's Instagram or Yelp, or how does that play into your business?
A couple of years ago, I didn't have a whole lot of faith in social media, but I knew it was necessary. But right now, beyond social media, SEO, search engine optimization, is key, right? Or you are disappearing. If you don't manage your SEO, you're not going to be found by people, right? And then So people might discover you on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. So we do monthly filming of new dishes. We just did our spring menu, so that's in the middle of being edited and going out. But it's very important. We bring influencers in. So right now we're gonna bring influencers in that maybe do date night. Right, and so maybe we drive a little more business on Friday or Saturday night with people that want to go out on a date. During the week, we are jam-packed with business. But the social pen on the weekend, as the congestion pricing and other elements of New York City have encouraged people to maybe not come to city on the weekends. So weekends are a little bit softer. So we target our social media efforts to showcase what we do so well to interest people to come on the weekend.
Yeah. Now, you've been in business for 10 years,
Yeah.
right? So you were in business during the pandemic. What was that like?
Well, not really.
Oh.
We closed.
You just closed, okay.
We were open for part of it, then we closed and reopened. But the best thing is, our landlord was great. Our landlord was very, very helpful.
I've learned that from other businesses. The
Yes.
landlord really made a difference.
That was key. But we also learned how to pivot quickly. When business drops so quickly to stay alive, all of a sudden you get very creative and learn how to stay in business with less income. And now we use a lot of that knowledge now every week has a slow day. Every month has a slow week. Every quarter, except the fourth quarter, has a slow month. So if you don't pivot and reduce your expenses quickly on the dime, you're going to lose what you gain on the busier days or the busier months. And that's the key to the restaurant business. It's because it fluctuates so much. You need to be able to respond quickly to the downside.
And then what about the local community? Like, how do you support New York or even the Nomad District?
Yes. Well, the social media, the hotels, we bring in hotel concierges, so they see what we have, and they send us lots of tourists, and of course the tourists want to go out everywhere, so we get that. Residents, we've got some larger businesses in the area. Their employees get a discount when they come in. But outside of that, we're certified green. We're a certified green restaurant, and Nomad is the first neighborhood in Manhattan to start this green program. So we've done we have a great sustainability program. And we did it because it made financial sense and it made moral sense. What I did not understand and see coming is how many businesses are required to do business with other businesses that have a sustainability program. So we are picking up corporate clients because we have a sustainability program.
Interesting.
And that's been really interesting. And I would say anybody who doesn't have a sustainability program, they're missing an opportunity to grow their business in that area there.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, so even my years at the Waldorf, I was working with City Harvest and always had a soft place in my heart for those in need. And in 2016, I started Heavenly Harvest. It's a 501c3 foundation where I raise money and I make shelf-stable meals in a pouch that have a 2-year shelf life. I raise enough money, I make those meals, 40,000 at a time, and we give them away to food banks and organized churches, feed the children, and they distribute them out amongst the community. So
goodness, 40,000. That really makes an impact.
We're up to 400,000 in the last several years.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're still going.
Yeah, no, it's nice to make a business and then give back as well. So
important.
Yeah, John, thank you so much. I can't wait to try BlackBarn.
Welcome.
Yep.
Can't wait to have you there.
I know. I'll be there this summer. So thank you.
Good. You're welcome.